So believe it or not, there's actually a difference between having no gravity and flying. And if this video was titled Portal but you can fly, then it would be pretty easy. But the real problem here is going to be falling down, because in Portal there are a lot of places where you need to fall down, and with no gravity we can't really do that. So can I beat Portal without gravity? I don't know, I haven't recorded the gameplay yet. Starting out, we wait for GLaDOS to shut up, then go and grab the box and, oh, it's not there. Since there's no gravity, cubes will never drop from droppers. But thankfully, we can just jump up into the dropper and use the cube to get back down. I'm not really sure why, but if you hold something against a wall and look down, it'll give you downwards momentum. Which means that if we have a physics object, we can basically fly. So anyways, we go to chamber 1 where we encounter a slight problem. We need to fall down from the sledge, but without gravity, we can't exactly do that. Thankfully, there's a camera at the perfect height right beside the ledge, and I can just fiddle around on my keyboard until I get a boost downwards. After we're on the ground, we can just complete the chamber normally and head to chamber 2 where we get the portal gun. After waiting for GLaDOS to shut up, again, we can walk down the stairs and grab the portal gun. The reason why we can just walk down the stairs is that all stairs in Portal are secretly just ramps. So that's your Portal fun fact of the day, I guess. I easily made it through the rest of Chamber 2 and Chamber 3. Chamber 4 had a cube dropper just like Chamber 0, except this cube dropper kept closing from under me and trapping me inside. It took a few tries, but eventually I got it and beat the chamber. Chamber 5 was basically just like normal, and so was Chamber 6. I thought Chamber 7 was impossible until I realized I could just walk off the side of the stairs. Definitely not my proudest moment. Chamber 8 was a cakewalk because I could just float over the goo to the exit. In Chamber 9, all I really had to do was jump up and grab the cube from the dropper. And I managed to get it first try this time, hooray! Now on to double digits. At the start, I just got on the platform like usual, then just ignored this pit, then just grabbed this radio over here and use it to complete the rest of the chamber. Chamber 11 is where we finally get the dual portal gun. Thankfully, this level is really easy because we can just float over the pit of goo and reach the exit. To get down to the elevator, I went and grabbed the radio and used it to get down. Next up is Chamber 12. This is the first chamber that's pretty long, so I'm sure that I won't soft lock and lose all my progress multiple times. So I was just trying to figure out how to get on the platform with the button, then I realized I soft locked myself, but then I realized that there was a radio over here, so I could just go and grab that, and then I could go basically wherever I wanted. Now I can go and try and put the cube on the button. Keyword try. My first try, I got stuck in the cube dropper. Whatever. Second try, I managed to get the cube out of the dropper, and you'd think it would be easy to just put it on the button and finish the chamber. And it was. I got the cube on the button and made it to the exit room, and I was done the chamber. So you might be wondering why I decided to jump and soft lock myself right as I was about to finish the chamber. Good question. I have no idea either. And it's fine, right? You know, I wouldn't really care if it wasn't for the fact that I just could not beat this chamber afterwards. I just kept failing over and over and over again. Eventually I managed to beat it, but if this is how the rest of the levels are gonna go, I don't have high hopes. On Chamber 13, I barely even noticed that I didn't have gravity. I just put the first cube on the button, then stood on the other one, shot a portal into the exit, and left. Same for Chamber 14, I could just shoot a portal on the same level as the exit platform and then just fly over. Chamber 15 is as long, if not longer, than Chamber 12, so I was kinda worried going into it. The main goal of this chamber is to fling yourself over walls, but I can just fly over the walls. The second part with the energy orb was just like normal, but the next part had a problem. With this helpful screenshot, you can see the intended route through this chamber. First you fling over into the middle section, then solve the energy orb puzzle on the right, then ride the platform out to the end. As you probably figured it out by now, you can just fly over and skip it. But there's a problem. Above all of these walls are fizzlers, which remove all your portals after crossing them. And this wouldn't matter if it wasn't for the fact that there's nowhere to place a portal in the middle section. So we can't get down using two portals in the middle section, We can't get down using one portal in the middle section and one portal somewhere else. I was stuck on this for a while until I started randomly shooting portals around and found out you can, for some reason, place portals on the energy ball launcher. Thanks, Valve. Anyways, I can now just fly through to the final section and jump up to the elevator. Chamber 16 takes place mostly on the ground, so it was pretty easy. The only part that required a bit of thinking was here, where the two turrets are facing each other. You're supposed to drop the cubes on the turrets to take them out, but we can't really do that without gravity. So I threw the cube around the side, which took out the first turret, then I used the cube as a blocker to just walk over to the second one. After this, it was just like normal. Next is Chamber 17, the infamous companion cube level. First I had to do the classic ritual of getting stuck in the cube dropper, then I did it again. After that, it was pretty easy. I flew through the energy orb hallways and then just skipped the entire chamber by flying to the end. Chamber 18 is very long, but thankfully it didn't cause any issues. First, I found a physics object that I can use to go up and down freely. Then I grabbed a camera which allowed me to skip the entire chamber. If a door closes on an object in Portal, the door will get stuck on that object and stay open. By throwing the camera at the open door, we can close the door right as the camera is about to go through and force the door open. After this, we can shoot a portal through the crack and then jump up to the elevator. Next up is Chamber 19, the final chamber. The whole level takes place on a floating platform, but we don't need a platform, we are floating. So we can just fly all the way till the end of the chamber, and now we're on the escape. You'd think that by now the game would be pretty close to over, but nope, we still have half of Portal to beat. First, we fly over to this top area and officially start the escape. Nothing special really happens until we get past this little fan thingy. We really need a physics object so we can freely move up and down, and thankfully there's an office right here with tons of chairs and computers for us to grab. A physics object is required to get through this part, and you'll see why in a bit. By a bit, I mean right now. You see, we have to go through this tube, and to get to the next area, there's a drop. And of course, without gravity, we can't drop through the drop. The first try, I lost my computer in the tube, so I had to restart and go grab it again. This time, I actually kept the computer and made the drop. We land in Chamber 9, which, thanks to the dual portal gun, we can skip easily. But there's a problem. Instead of going to the elevator at the end, the elevator is gone and we're supposed to go down into a pit. But it's fine, right? We can just use the computer to go down. Well, if you saw, there's a fizzler right before the elevator shaft. And not only do fizzlers erase your portals, they erase objects too. I tried for 20 minutes to find something that could propel me downwards in the elevator shaft. But then I realized, who says we need to bring an object into the elevator shaft? We can give ourselves a little push downwards before the fizzler and just use that momentum to go all the way down the shaft. After about 5 minutes of waiting, we can place some quick portals to move on to the next section. To proceed, we have to go on to the top platform, and thankfully this piston extends just far enough so that we can walk off the piston and onto the platform. Honestly, this next part of the escape was pretty boring. The only real roadblock was figuring out how to get down from this ledge. Thankfully, there's a computer in this level, so we can just grab that and use it to get down. And with the computer, there's really no obstacle that can stop us. We keep it all the way until here, where we unfortunately have to bring it through a fizzler. Thankfully, there's literally another one right here. With the new computer, we just cruise through everything, including the turret arena, which usually takes quite a long time. Finally, it's the GLaDOS boss fight. This is the final boss of Portal, and I was expecting it to be pretty hard. And let's just say, it was super easy. I wouldn't even say it was that much harder than the regular fight. And after dunking all 4 cores into the lava, that was it. I'd beaten Portal. Yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching. Have a good new year. Bye.